Okay, thank you very much for joining me on this Tuesday stress class. I'm really excited to share some ideas about stress. And I'd like you to take these few moments seriously now, really seriously, because stress is at the root of pretty well every serious disease. And you can reduce your risk of becoming ill and at the same time increase your ability to perform if you really learn how to handle stress well. And today, I am therefore asking you to make sure that you focus just for a while. It's not going to be a long class today. So, what I'd like you to do is to make sure that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just write in the column and say, yes, I can hear you. And let's have a really good class. If you have any questions about stress, don't be afraid. Don't to ask. Ask me anything. Just write that and we'll go right through. I am here seriously to serve you. You know, why I do this is just to help to reduce stress in you, in your community, so that we'll have a less stressed environment, a less stressed world. Okay, so today I thought I'd begin by emphasizing a little bit the seriousness of stress and tell you how stress can affect certain parts of your body. And I'd start with the heart. Now, you hear about cholesterol, don't you? Well, cholesterol is increased whenever you're under stress. It's increased like, say, 50 milligrams per deciliter. And so does your blood pressure. It's increased. So it's harder on your heart. Even your lousy LDL, your lousy cholesterol, goes up when you're under stress. And so you've got to be aware of this. We're not just talking about stress as something that would make you happy or unhappy. It's something that will kill you or don't, or it will facilitate those things that will end your life. Now, long work hours, you know, that more than 11 hours a day is associated, excuse me, with stress and with decreased sleep. And decreased sleep, of course, increases your risk of cardiovascular disease. So, sorry, make sure that you get enough sleep. It's important. Okay, so if you're not doing that and you think that finishing this report is more important or doing something else is more important, you're dead wrong. It's important for you to pay attention to the very fuel, the very fabric of life that makes it all possible. And that's your physiology, your body. Okay? Work stress. When you have stress at work, stress in your day, what happens? Cortisol is increased, epinephrine is increased, and these things put really a burden on the heart, and it causes the heart to be able to move less, and that can lead to arrhythmia and other diseases. So you see, this idea of stress is not just something that's simple. It affects your heart. And we can go ahead and tell you more things about the heart. You know, stress causes the heart to constrict. You know, emotional stress, for example, causes a rise in a chemical called neuropeptide. And a stress-specific coronary disease. Do you know what coronary disease is? And you may be young, but it's important for you to do it now, to learn about these things. You know, stress-specific coronary heart disease is known. And when you're under stress, you find that you can get what we call cardiomyopathy. In other words, the heart will become really bad. Sometimes it reverses itself when the stress is gone. Now, repetitive stress at work, acute stress, always getting vexed or always having, encounters that are unpleasant or always under pressure of work. Those things, those kinds of stresses are associated with heart disease. So we hope that I have got your attention now so that you can learn and become an expert in managing stress. And if you've got any questions whatsoever, please ask me. But today we have talked about the impact of stress on the heart. Now let's talk about what we can do. What is stress and what we can do to reduce its impact and its effect on you. Now, maybe I can ask you, what are some of the areas in which you find that you get stress? What are some of the stressors? And what are some of the areas in your body that's affected by stress or that goes haywire when you're under stress? Think about that. And if during the next few minutes you've got an answer, just let me know so that we will be able to address it. Okay. Now, can you hear me now? Okay, so you can hear me. Yay. All right. What is stress? What is stress? Stress is the perception by an individual that the circumstances that you're going through right now are sort of uncontrollable. They're beyond your ability to deal with. See, so that is stress. So reviewing them, in order for you to have stress, you usually need stressors. And we talked before about stressors. Stressors are situations, events, and problems in your life, but they don't have to cause stress. Then the second step, you see, there are three stages. The first stage is the appearance of the stressor itself. And then the second stage is for you to look at the stressor and say, and perceive it as something that is bigger than you and say, oh, this is going to crush me. And when you do that, second stage, that's the stage of perception. You perceive. And then the third stage is the response. After you perceive, oh my gosh, this stress is going to kill me or whatever, then your physiology responds in a way that is very deleterious, that is very bad for you. And so we're going to go through again a bit of those three things. And during the course of these webinars, I want you to be an expert. I want you to be able to teach it to your friend, to your co-workers, teach it to and model it as well to your children or whoever comes across your path. So what are stressors? Stressors are difficulties in your life. And if you find that you have to go through some stressors, I absolutely want you to pay attention to one clue that I'm going to give you today. Let's see. Lack of ability to control a situation is one stressor someone has reported, and the feeling of being out of control. Okay, we'll address that. And people asking for immediate responses to work requests, not reasonable time to respond. Those are some of the stressors that we hear about. Okay, let me give you the core of what I have for you today, and then we can discuss these areas of question. The first thing I want you to do is, when a stressor, whether it's a request or whether it's someone is being totally obnoxious, whatever it is. When that happens, the first thing that you have to do is, one, you look at the problem, always name the culprit and say, okay, here comes the stressor, and you establish control. And I am going to show you 4 ways today to establish control over where all ends and you begin. Do not allow anybody, not even your bank account, to cause you any stress, because it's your heart, it's going to your heart. And as we see, stress leads to heart disease, and that can lead to death. It also leads to other diseases. So establish control over where you are and where everything else begins. So that's what I want to cover today. Whenever a stressor comes to you, you look at it and say, how can I avoid it? If you see someone coming towards you and you know it's going to cause you stress, you can go away, you can back away. Remember, a great general doesn't fight every war. A great general negotiates, because he knows that even if he wins, he's left weaker. Some men will have died, So the same with you. Even if you will win the argument, don't argue, because it's going to leave you weaker. So wherever and whenever you can avoid a stressor, do so, okay? If you find that a stressor is coming and you can avoid it, do so. But if you can't, the second step is to establish control over your physiology so that it does not affect your physiology. And in doing so, we move to the second stage of perceiving it. This is difficult. She is tough. I don't have any time to respond to this, but I can handle it. First, let me make sure that my brain is renewed. And you can do that in 11 seconds. And that's what we're going to teach you today. How to abort a stress reaction, how to prevent a stressor from causing you stress, not in a day, no, not in a half an hour, but in 11 seconds. Now it's going to take us a few more seconds to teach it to you. Okay, so here goes. Somebody comes to you. How do you establish control and so create a body that will repel stress? How do you do it? Okay, and this is what you do. The first thing you do when a stressor affects you, when you see that stressor come to you and you can't avoid it, the first thing you do, you tense your body. Now you can see my hands. You make a fist, tighten that. Okay, what we're going to do is make sure that you tense. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 things, and the first one is you tense. Okay, now I am repeating this. Do not tell me that you've heard it before. That's not important. Tell me that you're doing it every day. Because when you do that and you condition your body and you change the cells of your body, when you do that, then you master stress. You have trained yourself. You've entered, as it were, my lab, where you train yourself to defeat stress. So the first thing you do, you tense your body. It might be your fist, but I'm using your fist. Let's suppose it is a coworker who comes and asks you to stay long or makes an unreasonable request. The first thing you're going to do, you can't in front of the person do that, but you might be able to tense your back or tense your buttocks or your neck or your leg, but do some effort of tension. Create great tension in your body. So to illustrate, we'll do this with our hands, okay? So make a fist, tight fist, and at the same time, take a deep, slow breath where, remember, always through your nose. So you tense and breathe in through your nose and hold it. Okay? Hold it for a second, and then you breathe out and let go the tension. Bring your shoulders back down. If you're tensing your legs, let your legs relax, and make sure you assume a posture that is sort of neutral, where you're sitting up and the muscles are relaxed. And in that relaxed posture, as you tense again and breathe out and assume that relaxed posture, you will breathe out and feel a waves of relaxation going through your body. So that's, you're going to T, tense, and R, then you're going to relax, and I. As you relax, you inwardly sweep the tension down and out through your body. Okay? And then the last thing I want you to do is to look after your circulation by saying, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. Now, when you do that, the circulation, the blood flows into your arms and into your legs, and that reverses the stress response. Why? Because when you're under stress, when, for example, you have interpersonal conflicts and you're arguing with your lover or your children or a friend, when that's happening, the blood is flowing more away from your fingers and from your toes. You see, and you're getting stressed. So to reverse that, the last part of these 4 things, which I'll review with you, is my arms and legs are heavy and warm. That's a mantra that I think is very musical, and it will do the trick. My arms and legs are heavy and warm means heaviness. The muscles are relaxed, and the warmth means that there is blood flowing back. You reverse the process of the blood flowing back into your fingers. And we use that in biofeedback in my practice when some migraine patients get very tense and the migraine is enhanced. So what we teach them to do is to send the blood to the fingers by using this phrase, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. Focus on your fingers now. Can you do that for me? Excuse me. I want you to focus on your fingers and just imagine the blood flowing down into your hands and into your fingers. Just imagine the blood flowing down there. And as the blood flows into your fingers become warm. And that's why we use the phrase, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. So let me put it all together for you. I hope you're excited to learn this technique that will absolutely defeat stress every time. Okay? But you got to practice it. Okay? Practice it. When you are accosted by a stressor, the very first thing you do, if you cannot avoid it, is tense your body. Tense, that's T. R-I-M. I'm giving you the trim formula. So the first thing you do is the T. You tense your body, okay? And you take a deep breath. Always breathe in through your nose and hold it as you tense. Focusing on the tension. Notice how the tension feels. Don't focus on the situation. And then R, you relax, T-R-I-M. Remember, R, you relax your body. And as you breathe out, you feel the relaxation going through your body. I, you inwardly sweep the tension down and out of your body. What I advise my patients to do is as they breathe in and tense, they notice the tension, and as they breathe out, they inwardly sweep the tension down and out through your body. And then the M, they focus on their arms and legs, and you say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. You feel the warmth and the heaviness in your arms and legs. You have just aborted a stress reaction. You have just lowered the chemicals that would normally go into the interior of the blood vessels and cause endothelial dysfunction. That's what we call it in medicine. You have just reversed a serious process. But in order to be adept at it, you must practice that. So let us practice it right now. You're going to imagine that you're at work, or imagine the big stress in your life. What's the big stress in your life? Okay? Interpersonal conflicts, which is manifested by increased heart rate, says Leah, and irritation. Okay, so when you get that conflict, no more. Don't let it happen anymore. You're great. You got the power to do this. So the first thing you do, you trim the tension away. Do that. Trim the tension away. You're going to trim the stress away. Okay, so this is to help you to remember this now. So the first thing you do when she comes to you with all the nonsense, and you're getting you're feeling the stress sore, and you're beginning to get stressed, you tense something, mostly your hands, bring your shoulders to your ears, tighten your back, tighten your legs, and take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. Are you doing it with me? Please hold it. And then you breathe out through your mouth slowly and inwardly sweep the tension. That's the R-I, inwardly sweep the tension down and out. And then you say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. And you enjoy the feeling of warmth as the stress response is aborted or reversed. Okay, I hope you got that. So here we go again. I want you to practice this. Practice it when you're walking up the street. You know, you might not be able to tighten your legs, but you can tighten one finger and take a deep breath in. Do it with me now. Make a fist or do 10 something. Tighten that muscle. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Hold it. Are you holding it? And as you breathe out now, you relax the muscle and inwardly sweep tension down and out through your body. And you end with the mantra, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. And you feel and see the blood flowing into your arms and legs. You see, that's how you reverse your circulation from stress to non-stress. You say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. So there you have it. You've got a formula now that you can use to trim stress. So let's review. What is stress? Stress is something that you respond, that is a response that you make, but you make it when you have a stressor and you perceive that stressor to be this is too much for me. And usually we go into automatic stress mode. Somebody comes and says, you know, you've lost $100, and suddenly you go there, or you've lost $5,000, or there's sickness or something. You just jump into the stress mode. No more. You trim the stress away. You sectionize stress. One, you have the stressor. Two, you have your perception. And three, you have your response. Usually we go from the stressor to the response. But now you look at the stressor, you tense, take a deep breath. Come on, we're trimming it now. T-R-I-M, tense. Deep breath, hold it. R, relax. Inwardly sweep the tension down and out. And say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. And you say, I can handle this, and you go again. Tense, deep breath in, hold it, and as you breathe out through your mouth, you feel that wave of calm moving down into your arms and legs. And you say, my arms and legs are heavy, heavy and warm. And you feel the circulation. You feel the pulse, as it were, in your fingertips. So homework, try and see if you can feel the pulse increasing, as it were, in your fingertips. In other words, feel, be more aware of your pulse beating in your fingertips. That's what you do when you say, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. You just become aware of it. In other words, you're training yourself to affect your body, to take over some of the automatic negative responses in your body. So I hope this is helpful for you. I really do hope that you will be able to well, find the time, make the time to do this, practice. And you know, this is going to help you to make more money as well, because you will be mentally sharp, much sharper. Stress costs money. Did you know that? Stress costs over $600 billion, more than the profits of all the Fortune 500 companies put together. So it is costing you. So if you learn to beat it and beef up your body and create a body that repels stress, a body that has, real refinement and integrity in the physiology, wow, you will be able to perform better than you ever dreamed of. Okay? So here's how you establish control, Trevor. You establish control whenever something comes to you. You tense your body and take control. You might not be able to control the stressor, but you can always control your responses to the stressor. Okay? This is what I want you to practice. And the next time we get together, I want you to join me so that you get better and better every time. Okay? We want you to make sure that you get better. And as you get better and better, you will get brighter and richer. You know, since I've started using these techniques, they've really helped me. They've helped me to build my practice as a doctor, to build my speaking engagement as a keynote speaker all over the world. And I'd like you just to do that. If you want to go a little step further, I would like you to make sure that you sign up for a valuable tool that I have. It's called the Stress Survival Kit. I have given you a lot of value today. You know, what I've given you, I mean, I get paid lots to do that. Lots of value. But if you want to practice a little bit more, if you want to go a little bit deeper, I'd like to hold your hand and give you offer you a cassette or some kind of recording program that you can use in your car or in your home that will deepen your understanding and your knowledge of stress. The Stress Survival Kit then consists of 3 things. You get 30 videos that you can watch, and they can inspire you and teach you how to deal with stress even more than you know. And you will also get the gift of excellence, which will show you how to make more money, how to be great at work, how to serve well. And you will get also the gift of relaxation and stress and performance. So you get a lot of value that is worth about maybe $200-300. But I've offered it to you for $47. For those of you who want to take this to the next level, it will help you and it will pay for itself by leaps and bounds. Okay? So there it is. I've offered you this and I've given you some free offer. Don't feel obliged to do anything but do the exercises that I have given you. And if you want to go deeper, you can accept the offer. And I want you to practice. And I'm looking forward to that. That's why I'm here, to help you change your body. Did you know that if you take this advice, the telomeres, those are at the ends of certain chromosomes, they are usually long, and under stress they shorten. And when they're short, it's just linked to aging, increased aging. You look older. So by doing these things, you will look younger. So you've got every reason to practice these stress techniques. And I thank you so much for being with me today. I'm really excited to believe that you're really going to practice. Are you really going to practice? Please do. And I hope I'll get to you to join me next week again, next Tuesday, and we'll have another session to deepen your knowledge of stress. I'll leave the offer for a few moments, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me.